Hey guys, and welcome to yet another epic showdown between a mystical creature, in this form the Elves, up against the men of the Empire, as the Emperor does lead his forces, up against Pajard Tron, apologies if I am butchering your name there, and it's going to be a fun one. We have Alith Anar showing down here with the Master Hunts Marshal, Markus Wolfheart, so you'd expect it to be a bit of a skirmish-heavy game. And boy, oh boy, have the High Elves brought some skirmishers. We have quad Shadow Warriors dotted all the way along here. Unfortunately, no Shadow Walkers, but still, you know, Shadow Warriors are pretty badass, particularly when led by my favourite High Elf character, Alith Anar. Look at him in his glorious regal purpose of vengeance. And yeah, he's probably the most dwarf-like elf out of all the elves, coming in with the Moonbow, as well as Mislead and the Shadow Crown. Certainly going to be a fun character. We do have some Alien Reavers protecting the flanks, but more importantly, going to be able to cycle charge and bog down enemies, which try to overrun the Shadow Warriors. In the main battle line, we have a mixture of cheap spearmen and rangers, just dotted all the way along. You can't really afford too much, particularly as the High Elves, if you've invested in such a heavy skirmish core, which is a little bit expensive. In the back, though, we do have some white lines hefting their mighty war axes to battle, and they're going to be led here by a Loremaster of Hoeth, a character who I really want to get to work. I think he's a cool dude, and he's coming in with Earthblood here and Harmonic Convergence. He also has the ability to bring Spirit Leech, so he has a nice set of tools, but unfortunately has to be on foot, and I think that's why so often you'll see basic mages brought to the battlefield, because they can simply zip around and be where they need to be at a moment's notice, whereas he kind of has to trog along. For the forces of the Empire, way out on the flanks with an Amber Wizard. I don't know what he's doing over here. I think is he just hiding in the trees? It looks like he is. He's coming in with Flock of Doom and Amber Spear, so this may be a bit of a play by the Empire player to try to drag the High Elf formation in and then whack them down the line with those Amber Spears. So I don't mind that whatsoever, though he is going to be out of the action for considerable time. In the main line, we have some naked lunatics for Sigma, including the Sigma Sun, so a nice unbreakable trio here, and there is some spearmen as well to help protect them. And Markus Wolfheart has found himself face down in the dirt, pushing himself up to his feet once more. Looks like Alith Anar has managed to draw first blood. He's coming in with all the goodies, his nets, his snares, his focus shot and amber bow, and he can dish out the damage as well. It's going to be interesting to see how he fares up against Alith Anar. We do have a mighty steam tank. Steam tanks are considered a bit of a meme, but in this matchup they can be deadly with their burst damage. I also don't have too many units capable of taking them down. We have double mortar, supported by 2 units of spearmen, and we have some elite cavalry. We have Demigryph Knights of Halberds, as well as the Royal Altdorf Gryphites. Look how glorious these guys look! Let's give them a little cheeky neck scratch on those guys just behind the ear. Particularly the Royal Altdorf Gryphites. But all Demigryphs look awesome, but these guys, yeah, they're one of the coolest models in the game that have survived the test of time from Total War Warhammer 1. So massive shout out to CA, the fact that a lot of their models still look fantastic this late in the game 2 in fact, cycle. I'm very excited for game 3 and the crazy units they're going to be bringing out. Anyway, the mortars shall rain down holy hellfire upon those who do not believe in Sigma. Shadow Warriors taking a considerable pounding already. Looks like Steam Tank is going to get very aggressive, forcing its way through the Sigma Suns and driving at the heart of the High Elf forces. Perhaps thinking there's not too much here that can take them down. There's no Plague of Rust, so Shadow Warriors aren't going to be great here either. It looks like the Demigryph Knights are pushing forward. We may get a really early cav engagement here. The Reavers have been baited out by this Amber Wizard, but it's a trap, and the Royal Altdorf Gryphites will be able to pin these guys in from behind, and no one wants to be pinned in the back by Royal Altdorf Gryphites, who are really comfortably now going to be able to drag down the Reavers, and I don't think they're going to have enough time to dispatch the Amber Wizard. In fact, the Amber Wizard's probably going to be able to fight back here. There are some spearmen being dispatched, though, to this side to try and protect them. And looks like the Amber Wizard may actually go down here. These Reavers have really done quite good for themselves as the main battle lines do engage. The Steam Tank has just gone full Leroy Jenkins mode. And for, you know what, there is no need for battle tactics. I'm going to charge headlong into this formation and just see how it goes. And it's going pretty poorly. I mean, he's up to 32 kills, but he's taken considerable damage. Alith Anar is really poking him down. And now he's saturated amongst spearmen, but he is distracting 2 units of Shadow Warriors. And the more the fight happens over here in the High Elf territory, the longer these mortars have to shoot to dish out the damage. Though, as I say that, one of them has actually been shut down by some good long-range pressure. We are going to see a harmonic convergence come down here. Is it going to be on the white lines? I assume. No, it's basically on some basic rangers, but up in their melee attacks to 54 and 60 melee defense. They're going to be able to carve through the Sigma Suns with no trouble whatsoever. And the High Elves looking pretty good, but a massive Amber Spear goes down the line and may actually break 2 units here. The Sigma Suns, boy oh boy did they need that, but they're here to hold the line. And that's just what they did. Amber Wizard up to 76 kills now. Where is the Steam Tank? It looks like it's taken a little trek through the forest. Really trying to gun down these Shadow Warriors. It's going to be getting kited a little bit. But up to 44 kills it can fire whilst moving, doing some decent damage. And it has the Royal Aldorf Gryphites nearby for company, who are desperately trying to escape some Spearmen, it seems. We do have a big old fat upgraded Flock of Doom going down, as well as an Earthblood to try to counter it. But look how many units are getting hit by it. Oh, that is some disgusting work there, coming in by that Amber Wizard, who really has reaped havoc so far to date. Reavers and White Lines are now free to bounce into the back line. The Mortar is protected by Spearmen, but I don't think the Spearmen are really going to be able to hold out here against the Reavers. They do try to push forward to protect the crew, but oh, that's going to be a bit of a butcher in there. Look how fast the Mortar crew HP does drop, but Reavers are particularly squishy. The longer they stay with the Spearmen, the worse it is going to get for them. This Mortar crew as well, just currently chilling, not wanting to hop on top of their artillery piece in case they become a bigger threat. The fight between Alith Anar as well as Markus is a pretty funky one, because there's currently 2 Alith Anars out and about. This one up here is a decoy, but Markus will start looking far more healthy at the moment than the man, the myth, the legend, or the elf, I should say, Alith Anar. Royal Aldorf Gryphites have started to run down Shadow Warriors, though an Earthblood is trying to keep them alive and healthy. Another Flock of Doom is going to come in. The Sigma Suns have done such a good job today holding the line with their unbreakable ability, and it looks like it is starting to pay off. The Lordmaster Heref is now alone and surrounded, and he does not want to be near those Royal Aldorf Gryphites, who certainly can pack a punch. Amber Wizard is being focus shot down now by the Shadow Warriors, and Alith Anar with the 360 no-scope Moonbow catches him out and does some really lovely damage. He does get off one last Amber Spear, trying to save the Steam Tank, who's been used really aggressively. I've never seen a Steam Tank used like this. Just driven straight into the heart of the enemy line, and it's actually caused a lot of problems. It's dragged a lot of High Elf forces away from the main battle line, but it is starting to get danger low, and it looks like the Amber Wizard has been dealt with. But at what cost? Alith Anar is now surrounded by Royal Aldorf Gryphites. There's some Shadow Warrior support, and then a huge amount of High Elf infantry still remains, though some of those mortars have somehow got back online once more. It seems like some of the Demigryphs did fall back here to help protect the back line where possible. Spearmen being forced off, likewise the White Lines. Demigryphs, though, are slowly going down here, being dragged down by the ever-loyal Spearmen. No, they've got up to 58 kills, not done too shabby whatsoever. Markus Wolfhard is also nearby, trying to support where possible. More Shadow Warriors are currently lurking in the trees, and Alith Anar has managed to pull out away from the Royal Aldorfs, who are now saturated in with Spearmen and Rangers, and they could slowly get dragged down here. Alith Anar's even pulled out his sword and was moving into hand-to-hand combat to try to support his troops. Can't get much of a better leader than that. Looks like Shadow Warriors continue to pour in fire. The Royal Aldorfs getting very low here. They've been pretty fantastic all game, though. 112 kills is certainly not too shabby, but this could be the end for them. They're going to try their best to rip Alith Anar's soul from his body and drag him to the afterlife with them, but they are broken. Still 10 models. If they could get some form of healing, I guess there's no healing on the board today, unfortunately, for the Empire, but if they come back, they still pack a punch with a thunderous charge. Balance power massively now in favour of the High Elves as they're looking to secure victory. Shadow Warriors should be able to finish off the mortars. We can see an explosion here as an arrow does hit some of the ammunition, and the mortar unfortunately explodes. Mortar crew, though, still just about clinging on for now. Although zero leadership, it's not looking too good. White Lines have been beat back by Spearmen, which is not a good day to be a White Line. You're being dispatched by some basic men. Nice little net coming down by Markus. Maybe there is a way back on this for the Empire after all, if they can snipe out this Lawmaster. It looks like the Royal Aldorfs have come back. If they can survive to the late game, their terror could be crucial, particularly if the Mortar continues to do good work and just whittle down the HP of all of these units. The Steam Tank does live at just about 200 HP at the moment. 96 kills is pretty good, though. It's currently kiting back. That's hilarious. It can fire the steam backwards. That's so silly. I love it. And the Spearmen being kited by the Steam Tank down just 184 HP. Bounce power very close, or starting to push into the region of army losses right now. Shadow Warriors, though, are relatively low on ammo, and they need to be a bit careful. The High Elves, there's certainly ways back into this for the Empire. The Mortar is just breaking these Elvish troops on the approach. Markus as well, kiting back, but again getting low on ammunition. Steam Tank has a bucket ton though. If you can keep this guy alive, just keep him away from the Shadow Warriors and Alith Anar. Maybe, just maybe the Steam Tank could carry. It packs a punch with a whopping 455 missile strength, and the Lawmaster takes a massive shot there from the Steam Tank, trying to get up to 100 kills now. The Lawmaster, rather wisely, is going to fall back here, try to buy time for the Shadow Warriors to get close enough to finish off this beast, but another cannon shot comes through. My god, this Lawmaster is getting wrecked, and he's broken. He's broken. So it's 52 spearmen are starting to run back. They're not going to be able to save, though, the mortar crew. They're simply too slow to keep up with the rangers as well as the Shadow Warriors. But the Lordmaster maybe will just get straight up killed here, though some spearmen have pushed through. It looks like the Empire spearmen will be able to hold them in place, and the Steam Tank is going to pull back, looking once again to kite survive and use up its ammunition, because this bad boy still has 35 ammo. If he uses all those shots, this is game over for the forces of the High Elves. But the balance power is so in their favour right now. It might not be enough, and all their forces might break. Spearmen are barely holding on right now. Markus Wolfhart, though, has done a good job all day, and it looks like he may be able to finish off the Lawmaster. One shot comes arcing in, but he misses. The Lawmaster doing a dodge and roll, I'm sure, attempt there. Alith Anar only has one shot left, and 132 HP on the Steam Tank. I don't think one shot's going to be enough, but no! He loses it into Markus Wolfhart. That is a terrible idea. Alith Anar needed to use the remainder of his ammunition on this Steam Tank, though it looks like some Illyrian Reavers are starting to sally out in the distance to try to focus him down. If Markus has a net, now would be the time. The Steam Tank, realising its situation, I need to win the mobility game. I have to shut down the enemy cavalry, otherwise it's going to be a big thorn in my side. So he is trying to shoot down the Reavers. It looks like the High Elf player, though, was actually trying to break up the Spearmen to allow more of his troops to force their way into the back line, but a beautiful net did come in, catching the Reavers, and this Steam Tank now has the perfect arc of fire to shoot down on those Reavers, who have 940 HP at the moment. Bam, straight down to 644. That's going to be a routing unit of Reavers, and I think Empire might be able to do this somehow. I mean, Alith Anar is no pushover in combat. He's only going to need one or two good hits on the Steam Tank to finish it off in reality, but how much damage can it reap before it inevitably goes down? Lawmaster in the distance is 0 leadership, so he may rally. If he can pop an Earthblood on himself, he might be able to come back. Looks like Reavers have ride as well. What's this in the back? It's just some Rangers who unfortunately are running away. Markus Wolfhart has used up all his ammunition. Alith Anar has used up all his ammunition as well, and they're moving into hand-to-hand combat. Spearmen butting spears against each other as the shield walls are formed. There's going to be a lot of pushing, a lot of grunting, a lot of death coming in right now, but it looks like the Empire Spearmen just about nearly ready to give up, though they have forced back some Shadow Warriors, and Markus Wolfhart is dueling Alith Anar in hand-to-hand combat. What a scrap it's been with both these guys. Use up the ammo. Markus going for the low blow, trying to kick Alith Anar right in the goodies there, which is certainly bad news for him. But Alith Anar's actually being beaten back here. He's just too low HP. Spearmen almost shut down the Steam Tank, but it terrified them as they got close. And he's doing some glorious 360 noscopes itself here. Now going after the Reavers once more. Only 7 models left there. They may well just tear out in the presence of such a majestic war machine. Did mankind build the Steam Tanks, or is it something the dwarfs gifted to them? I'm not sure, but down to just 52 HP. Oh no, they're going to get finished off by some Reavers. They're terrified. Down to 37 HP. But he lives, and the net pins in Alith Anar and the Shadow Warriors, who are pushing in to finish the deal. The Steam Tank, can it break the remainder forces? Alith Anar is taking a bucket ton of damage. Markus Wolfhart is his only ally right now, as he is surrounded by Spearmen. Big shots coming in. Alith Anar does manage to tank them, and with a heroic leap in the air, standing in the fire and the flames, did smite the beast. It was the elf who smote the beast. Looks like there's no chance of Empire troops coming back. We have some Spearmen here, but it's certainly not over. I mean, Markus Wolfhart is a bit of a beast in combat. He's holding his own. Now, the one thing I think the High Elf player needs to do is, it's kind of risky. You probably want to cycle charge with Alith Anar, because a lot of his troops are just breaking and running. But I would wait. I wouldn't go in too early, because if Markus gets 1 or 2 lucky hits on Alith Anar and kills him, this High Elf army will crumble and break. But it looks like we are going to get the heroic duel. Alith Anar trying his best to kite. Markus pushes through his troops, though. And did that kill him? No way. No, Alith Anar is alive, but -1 leadership. He's starting to break here, so he can't flee. Down to 1 HP. Markus hunts down the Shadow of the Night. And with that leadership drop, despite the balanced power still being heavily in favour of the High Elves, they're going to get such a big negative to their leadership. If I can get some of the units up now, you can see that if your Lord dies, it's -16 there. And I think they're going to break. No way is Markus Wolfheart going to carry this. 100 kills for the Hunt Marshal himself. Spearmen are breaking. Shadow Warriors run for their lives. 17 Spearmen here and 26. They're going to be the damage dealers. Markus Wolfheart down to just 1,000 HP. He's not looking too great leadership-wise either. Balanced power staying roughly in the kind of same pocket at the moment. Balanced power actually just says that. Moved to the halfway mark. Markus Wolfheart has broken all of the Elvish forces but this unit of 24 Spearmen. He needs to do this, and he needs to do this now before they rally and come back into the fray. They're poking, they're jabbing, down to just 900 HP, 111 kills, however. The Spearmen, I think he's going to do it. I think the mad lad Markus himself might be able to steal victory. What a crazy game. Look at the blood-soaked Elves sticking this one out. But Markus is a beast, and he's going to be adding quite a few to his big old tally of kills, and he is looking pretty good. Looks like the Elvish forces down to just 15 models. Markus down to 800 HP, but I don't think there's any chance now. I really don't. Balanced power for the first time is in favour of the Empire. My poor Spearmen, they go, and Markus Wolfheart is victorious. A very, very valiant defeat. And fun fact, I knew this was going to be an epic game because both of these mad lads sent the replay in. And you know, if you get a replay from both sides, the game's going to be crazy. And it was very well played to the Emperor there. Man, you put on a fantastic display. I love to see Alith Anar as well as the rather badass Lawmaster of Hoeth coming into action. And Pajardtron, again, so if I'm butchering your name, man, you played amazing. That steam tank play at the end, yeah, that was really cool. Pulling him back, using the steam tank as this kind of really fat, blumbering skirmish unit was hilarious. Now, it looks like it did really good damage value as well. We will get to the damage dealt and damage value of all of the units in just a second. Particularly, I want to see who won between Alith Anar and Markus Wolfheart. But before we get there, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a big fat thumbs up. Subscribe as well for more glorious Total War Warhammer content into the future. And comment down below, what did you think of the battle? Yell, I suppose, faith, steel, and gunpowder if you wanted the Empire to win. And a sad day as well for the Alith Anar fanboys, though he did do some pretty great work. There's links down below in the description to my Discord, where you can submit replays and all that glorious stuff. Get involved with events and tournaments I host. We'll be doing a few live streams this week, which I'm very excited about. And yeah, all that good stuff. We actually have a tournament coming up Thursday, I believe, which is pretty cool. There's also a link down below to my Patreon if you'd like to support the channel. But anyway, I thought the Emperor coming in with 46 kills on Alith Anar, not bad whatsoever. Just shy of 8,000 damage dealt, 2,350 damage value. I think if he had saved his ammo and used it to snipe the steam tank, this probably would have been game over. But he got greedy, started shooting at Markus, his sworn foe. Alith Anar got in his feelings about people calling him a human, a better skirmish lord than him, and he really went out for blood. But oh no, it looks like Markus Wolfheart actually did perform better, but we'll get to him in just a second. Lawmaster Hoeth, only 400 or just shy of 400 damage value. Again, more here for his spells, harmonic convergences, earth bloods, and that good stuff. The Spearmen across the board didn't do too shabby actually, which is kind of nice to see. A lot of them actually, getting good damage value. 682 here, 710. Yeah, not bad whatsoever. As for the Rangers, they kind of struggled. They got decent kills, again, just clearing through the enemy infantry, which is what was needed because there's a lot of heavy components to the Empire build, and you want to be able to surround them in the late game. White Lions, only 552 damage value. It's such a shame to see them pushed back by the Spearmen as well before they hopped on those mortars. Shadow Warriors, 821, 838, 1022, and 836 damage value. Really good work from them all round, actually. I thought it was a cool build by the Emperor. They certainly got these guys to dish out the damage. As for the Reavers, 439 and 411 damage value. Neither quite paying for themselves, but they were a good harass for the back line. As for the forces of the Empire, Markus Wolfheart was the supreme skirmish lord here, getting more kills, more damage dealt, more damage value than his counterpart. 124 kills, 10,000 damage dealt, 2,907 damage value. Just going after the key targets. And I mean, there wasn't even that many here for him to really try to snipe out, but mainly the Lawmaster and Alith Anar, of course. And those nets came in really clutch. Amber Wizard did a good job. I like the idea of leaving him on the flank to get the most out of those Amber Spears. Did good work with Flock of Doom as well. So overall, 1,164 damage value, 10k damage dealt, 114 kills. Yeah, this bad boy, he went about his business today. The Spearmen for the Empire fared a little bit worse, as did most of the ground forces actually, than compared to the Elvish forces. But, you know, they held the line, allowed those Amber Spears to come in and the mortars to dish out the dirty work. As for the Demigryphs, I mean, the roll out of Gryphite's not too shabby, 1,338 damage value. The other one, though, only 720. Mortars got 435 and 805 damage value. Not terrible, considering how cheap mortars can be. But the steam tank was an absolute beast. It nearly got shut down so many times and was used highly aggressively. Still, though, got 2,124 damage value, 13k damage dealt, and 125 kills. Beautiful work there by the steam tank. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this one. Until next time, peace, peace. And as always, stay awesome.